Yep.
You guys, before the album was officially released, you sort of teased out a video for the Saxon cover, Machine Gun. So tell me a little bit about how that came to be. Why was that song? Why was that band chosen? And you've got guest stars on there. Mark Lopes from Metal Church is singing his ass off on that song, and then you've got Ross the Boss from Manowar, Dictators, Let Us Pray with Mark on vocals.
No, Ross isn't in Let Us Pray.
Oh, he's not. Oh, I'm sorry. Mark is in Ross the Boss, the band. Ross the Boss.
There's the connection there.
Yeah,
Let Us Pray
okay.
is Mark's other band.
Correct. I got them all tangled up here.
No, you're good.
But so anyway, tell me about how the choice came to be Saxon Machine Gun, and then tell me how the guest players got in the mix.
Honestly, it didn't. Robert walked in one day, and Robert has these periods of being very matter of fact about things. He's just, we got to do this, so Robert brought it in. He brought the idea in, and Robert, guys got some good ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Got a lot of respect for that dude. He's a great writer. He's
brought a lot of shit in for this record, man.
He's brought a lot of shit into this record, man. I mean, Robert he brought some real bangers to the table, riff wise.
Yeah. Okay.
And so Robert brought the idea in, and he pitched it. Nobody hated it. Everybody went, okay. It's it's one of their more, unless you're a big Saxon fan, one of their more obscure songs, you know?
Yeah.
And us all being Saxon fans and having the connection to the band that we've been lucky enough to have over the years, not only, as fans, but now as, contemporaries and, doing shows with, and, some friendships.
Mm-hmm.
And so it seemed like a natural thing to do, to go ahead and pay homage to one of all of our
influence,
probably most influential bands for every one of us.
It's an obscure song, and it's kind of thrashy, so it lends itself to you that way as well.
Right. Of course, me being Mr. I want to hear hooks and big choruses and all that. I want Dallas 1 p.m. or but how many people have already done that?
Right.
So you got to watch that when you're wanting to do a cover. You got to watch that kind of stuff, because the more popular songs, they get done by a lot of people.
Right.
That's not to say that sometimes you get an artist that will go in and do a concept cover where they'll take like some kind of pop song or something and turn it into a metal tune or something,
Well, speaking of Saxon, they did Ride Like the Wind, for example.
Of course, which I finally got to see in San Antonio at Sam's Burger Joint, because, they had to, when it came down the last time, they were with Motorhead, and Lemmy was not doing well.
Right.
And so they had to cancel their bigger hall, and they went to a smaller venue to honor the San Antonio show. And man, they played all night, as you know.
Right. It's great.
And man,
it was the best Saxon show
I kept going, Ride Like the Wind, Ride Like the Wind, and because I'd never seen them play it live.
Yeah.
And they played it live, and boy, was I happy.
How did you get Mark from Metal Church and Ross the Boss involved in this cover?
Well, Jason, of course, is the connection to Mark, because he was. I think it. You know, it was Jason. You want to jump in on this, or
Yeah,
I think it was a relationship that was struck on one of those cruises, huh?
No, it was Keep It True.
Keep it true.
In Wurzburg, year ago, Watchtower went on direct support for Metal Church, and Udo Dirkschneider was the headliner that night. So it was Watchtower, you know, it was bands all day, but it was Watchtower, Metal Church, Udo. Prime slot, right? So we're playing our show, and, you know, we got a few more songs left. I started noticing, you know, dudes in bands standing over in the wings, you know, just chilling, checking out the last couple songs, and it was Mark and a couple of the other guys, and you know, we thank you, good night, we walk off, and it's, you know, hey, awesome, you know, fist bump, blah 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 blah, and just short meetings like that, and so I'm walking off and fist bumps with Mark and a couple other dudes, and then I ran into Kurt Vanderhoof, and big hug, and I haven't seen you in a long time, and da 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 da. And then I ran into Kurt again at breakfast right before we were getting in the van to go to the airport, and we exchanged numbers, and it was a week later or 2 weeks later or something that Kurt was like, hey, Mark lives in New England. He's from New Bedford, Mass. And he lives there, and the Toys are playing at this club right in his hood. And Kurt was letting me know, here's Mark's number. You should hook up with him. I know you guys hooked up a little bit in Germany, da-da-da-da-da. Give him a call. He wants to come to the show, blah, blah, blah. So that happened, and me and Mark were carried on like we'd known each other our entire life, and we have so much respect. He's got a monster fucking heavy metal voice. He's so good.
Yeah.
It's fucking good.
Yeah.
And, you know, he had to step into, it's a whole other podcast, but he had to step into big shoes, you know, with Mike Howe and David Wayne, and, you know, he's singing their songs as well as his songs. Anyway, incredible. So we just got on like thieves. And we're back here working on the Ignitor record and making decisions and putting new songs together. And this conversation with Robert Williams comes to play. I think we should put Machine Gun by Saxon on the record. And at the time, neither of us are thinking about any star power to come in and join us and do duets and guitar solos and things.
Right.
So it just popped in my head one day. It's like, this doesn't make any sense as to why I'm a month later thinking, you know, obviously I hadn't cut the vocals to it yet. And I just said out loud and in a text message to all the guys, I think we need Mark Lopes to come in and help me sing this fucking thing. And he was all about it. And so that's how that happened. And then something similar is Robert is chummy with Ross the Boss, who ironically, Mark also is the lead singer for Ross the Boss.
There you go.
So, this weird sort of like flurry of awesome, you know, that just came together. We've ultimately got the singer from Metal Church, and we've got Ross the Boss, who happened to be in a band together on their own called Ross, under the name Ross the Boss.
Right.
So it's really trippy how that came together, and well,
it came out great. The song is a total banger, and Mark's
produced
voice
the video.
compliments. Yeah,
he not only sings on it,
Mark and your voices work really well together, and just adds, I mean, just so much power to that track. And then, as you say, Mark had a big hand in making the video happen, right? So he's a bit of a film guy or video guy.
He has his own creative design company that does videos, and it's, think of it as like commercial art kind of thing, where he can do a logo or make a video or a commercial or anything, right? Lyric video, whatever. And he's really, really good at it. His company, might say this wrong because it's a made up word, Sonotheria, I think, Sontheria, just like it sounds. Pretty sure that's right. And so anyone out there who needs some creative design, just look up Mark Lopes and Sonotheria. Spell it however you want. I'm sure Google will correct you, and you'll find him.
And it's probably credited on the Machine Gun video.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Somewhere. So first look up the Ignitor video, Machine Gun.
Yeah, because it's out.
And then read the fine print to find out how to connect with Mark. Yeah.
Yeah.